Most people know Korean fashion from K-pop or K-drama, but the Korean streetwear scene goes way deeper than that. Over the last few years, Seoul has become one of the most influential fashion cities in the world, blending luxury, minimalism, cyber aesthetics, vintage silhouettes and underground street culture into something completely unique. So in today's video I want to show you guys 8 Korean streetwear brands that are shaping the scene right now. I bet you there's at least one brand you haven't heard of before. And by the way, all of these brands offer worldwide shipping in their online shop, so there's no need to book a flight. Let's get straight into the video, let's go. Adererror is a streetwear brand from Seoul founded in 2014 by an anonymous collective of creatives, and they mainly want to stay unknown because they want people to focus more on the brand identity, the brand vision, instead of like the people that are behind the brand. The brand is featured in many retail stores worldwide, but they also have a good amount of their own stores, mainly in Korea and Japan, but their online store also offers worldwide shipping, so no need to worry. Adererror, I would say, focuses on high-end minimalistic streetwear, and one key element or one key philosophy in their brand is the concept of intentional imperfection, as well as the concept of near-missed things. They are essentially taking everyday products and make them slightly abnormal and kind of slightly weird, but in a way that you almost miss it and you almost don't notice it. For example, this Henley shirt right here with these pleats at the hem, or even this polo long sleeve right here with these kind of rotated circles. And I don't know about y'all, but I think this literally looks like Photoshop. Like, this shit does not look real. But even on this more normal looking Henley shirt, once you take a look at the button placket, it still kind of looks weird and looks abnormal and definitely pretty unique. I think this brand is really good at teaching us how to look at the details. Like, take this pink jacket for example. In my opinion, it looks like a pretty normal, pretty regular pink jacket. But then again, when you take a look at the cuffs, this is not how you normally have cuffs on a jacket. Like, this is a different, a unique, maybe a slightly abnormal construction. I don't know, you just don't notice it at first glance, but once you appreciate, once you take a look at the details, this is where you notice stuff like this. I also really mess with those button ups. Once again, a kind of everyday piece, but they make it so unique using these folds and these kind of cutouts. Or let's take this button up right here. There's literally nothing crazy about it, but the material just feels so intentional, and kind of the stitching that goes straight up on your button ups, they literally kind of curve it out, and it's such a small detail, you know the deal. That's just how the brand operates, and I really mess with it. I also really like those pants right here. It's once again kind of a normal pair of pants. There's nothing special to it, but if you look down, there's this kind of weird rolled up fabric, and I don't even know how to properly describe it, what it even is. Kind of looks like rolled up fabric essentially. And it's once again just a really unique detail, elevating this otherwise basic piece. And there are even so many pieces that I can't find like an obvious error or like an obvious weird thing about them. And I don't know, maybe it's intentional, maybe they have some of those pieces as well, but maybe I just don't notice it and there are hidden details. I guess we'll never know. Adererror generally has a really huge selection, and they carry basically everything fashion related. Of course clothing, but also footwear, bags and various accessories. The brand does come in at a higher, more premium price point, but to be honest, I think for what you get, this is completely fair. And let me tell you, I've actually been to one of their stores in Tokyo, which by the way is so stunning. It's such a beautiful store. Literally one of my favorites, if not the favorite store that I've ever been to. The quality of all of their garments really feels so good. So if you want to invest in good ass pieces, dope ass quality, really unique, this is literally the brand for you. Club is another streetwear brand from Seoul, founded in 2018 by Jongmin Cho and Jiol Kwon. I hope I got those right. The brand is once again featured in multiple different retail stores while having a singular flagship store in Seoul, but through their online shop they also offer worldwide shipping, and you probably have seen their designs before, seen their logo before, or just seen their pieces before. And this is because they have drastically risen in popularity due to celebrities or artists, mainly rappers, wearing their pieces, such as A$AP Rocky, SZA, Playboi Carti, Offset and many more. Club sits in the rebellious, rough and almost kind of dystopian streetwear, featuring aggressive silhouettes, distressing metal hardware and almost almost kind of a dark vibe to most of their pieces. Like, let's just take this leather jacket for example. I think a piece like this could literally be from Borderlands or Mad Max or some shit. Or let's take a look at these destroyed knit zip ups, and I myself really love this dressing. I think it's such an interesting and really dope technique, but I think there's just something so good about this dressing knitwear, and I love those so much. I also really like the Full Metal Alchemist bells, but to be honest, I have no idea if it's like an actual reference to the anime. But yeah, I mean, if you have watched it, put me on. And to be honest, I think their logo is really great, especially as like metal hardware or like a metal emblem, metal detail. Like on this card holder right here, on these caps, but even printed on like a simple tank top. I think it just hits and looks so good. From what I can tell, their online store also carries a pretty huge selection of items, and a lot of items from past seasons are still available. This brand once again comes in at a higher price point compared to your average streetwear, but I mean, just take a look at the pieces. Thisisneverthat is another brand from Seoul, and saying it out loud now, I think all of the brands I'm mentioning in this video are actually from Seoul. The brand was founded in 2010 by Park In-wook, Choi Jong-kyu and Kim Jin-hyuk. They have a small number of stores mainly in South Korea. Their online shop offers worldwide shipping though. The brand, I would say, is definitely a more chill and calm streetwear brand. Nothing crazy extravagant, but just basic, simple and also kind of colorful skate-inspired streetwear. And therefore the brand also comes in at a lower price point compared to what we had before, and I would say the prices are like pretty average streetwear prices. I really like their logo tees, for example, and even though it's kind of a basic and played out concept, I just think that they look really good, like visually and aesthetically. I also think some of their crewneck sweaters are really nice, specifically these more like washed out and faded ones. They also carry a bunch of check pattern or plate pattern or kind of flannel stuff, like for example the zip shirt, this flannel or this short sleeve button up. And I think they have a pretty decent selection of clothing as well as some accessories. And as I mentioned earlier, for me personally, it's nothing crazy, but just really good, kind of like 2000s inspired basic streetwear with actual character. And I can definitely appreciate that. Hyein Seo is a brand founded by the Korean designer Hyein Seo. The brand was actually founded in 2014 in Antwerp while Hyein Seo was studying fashion design. But after graduating, the brand was then moved back to Seoul, to his hometown kind of, and the brand is therefore based in Seoul, Korea. And this is also where they have their flagship store. But as always, you already know it, their online shop offers worldwide shipping. Hyein Seo definitely leans into the high fashion and more like avant-garde aesthetic, while still taking dystopian, futuristic and almost rebellious references. And in my opinion, most of their pieces really look like they are from another world, like maybe from a huge ass blockbuster, and literally just like telling a story from a different world. But even so, they are still really wearable on a day-to-day basic. It doesn't look like a costume or anything. They offer some really dope jackets, like for example the double layer moto jacket, the wash rider jacket in these two colorways, or even the dyed cotton jacket. I also really like both of the colorways of their slash zip hoodie. And one thing you could definitely say is that the brand focuses more on like feminine clothing, leaning more into this direction, at least from what I can tell. But in my opinion, a lot of these tops can also be styled as a man. What I really like is taking these more feminine kind of tops that also reveal like a lot of skin, and then styling them with like a slim fitting long sleeve or almost like a compression long sleeve. And I think styling it like this looks masculine as and kind of makes the pieces unisex in my opinion, but I don't know, let me know y'all's opinion in the comments. Their selection of pants is also pretty amazing. I really like their washed rider pants, matching with the jacket we had earlier, but also these white pants with this integrated belt, or even these wide wool pants. And last but not least, they also have some more experimental stuff like the macrame top or these washed mesh hoodies. And once again, these are just really beautiful pieces, perfect for layering. Hyein Seo once again comes in at a higher price point, and their online store, I would say, currently carries a really broad selection of items. So once again, a lot of stuff to browse through, and once again, a lot of stuff available right now. Andersson Bell is another streetwear brand from, you guessed it, Seoul. It was founded in 2014 by Do-hoon Kim, and while the brand is featured in many different retail stores, they have one flagship store located in Seoul, and once again offer worldwide shipping through their online shop. Andersson Bell, I would say, does experimental streetwear blending Korean and Scandinavian influences, and I'm really having a hard time pinning the brand to like a specific aesthetic, but to be honest, I don't mind it. I actually like it. It's a little crazy, it's a little different, but definitely definitely super unique. First up, I really like the asymmetric denim jacket with also the matching pair of pants. And speaking about pants, they have some really cool denims in my opinion. Like for example, this double-waisted one with this really dope fade and the holes. But I also really like the festival mud wash denim. This is literally how you look like when you're hours and hours in the mosh pits. What I also really mess with are some of their more kind of utility items, I would say. For example, this backpack or this kind of backpack vest, or even this waxed utility vest, as well as the, some might say, utility vest. That's literally the name of the piece. But I think it looks dope. I really like it. And last but not least, what I also really like about the brand is that they carry a bunch of different kind of charms. For example, these lucky key charms, I really like those. I think they look so amazing. And the brand, I would say, once again comes in at a higher price point compared to like your average streetwear. xlim is a rather young brand from Seoul, Korea. The brand was founded in 2021 by Kim Do-hee. It is again featured in a few retail stores and also has one main flagship store, of course located in Seoul, but through their online store they also offer worldwide shipping. The brand features high-end streetwear while leaning into the minimalistic techwear aesthetic, and I would say most of their pieces are really structured and conceptual with many hidden details. What's interesting about this brand is that they release their pieces or collections in kind of episodes, so they don't have like your typical standard seasonal drops or like collections with a theme and kind of uniquely different names. But yeah, as I said, in episodes you get like episode 1, episode 2, and I think it goes up to 9 at this point. And all of the items inside of an episode are then kind of numbered from 1 through however many pieces there are. And I think this gives the brand a really interesting vibe. The brand has some really dope jackets, like for example the episode 906 jacket, the episode 902 jacket, or the episode 702 jacket. Some pants that I really like are the episode 901 trousers, the episode 902 trousers, as well as the episode 903 trousers. And they also feature some more elevated stuff, like for example button-ups or blazers, and I really like the details on those. Last but not least, they also offer some really dope accessories. I really mess with this cow print belt, some of their gloves, or even some of their bag. And I would say generally most of their pieces are available in many different colorways, being black, white, brown, gray, and also blue, I think. And this is why the brand to me gives off these like blanks or basic vibes, definitely not in a bad way. Like really dope basic pieces with a lot of attention to detail. Such a great brand. MSCHF is a brand from Seoul, founded in 2010 by
Hyein.
And while the brand is available in some retail stores, their flagship store once again sits in Seoul, Korea. But through a dedicated international online store, they also offer worldwide shipping. This, however, means that their selection is slightly different from what they offer in their Korean stores or in their Korean online stores. And you might not be able to get every single piece, but I looked through their international store and they definitely offer a lot of stuff. MSCHF, I would say, is a more feminine brand aiming towards like a female audience. And once again, I think most of their pieces are pretty unisex and can literally be styled by everyone. One thing I have to point out though is the sizing. I'm not too sure about the sizing. A lot of brands from Asia, let's say Korea or Japan, generally feature really small sizes, definitely smaller than in the US or in Europe. And especially since it's a more feminine brand, I think most of their pieces could potentially be too small for the average guy. So yeah, I mean, if you're interested in getting something, just always make sure to check the size guide. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, I really like some of their jackets, such as the slimline city jacket or the tailored uniform jacket. I also really mess with their knitwear pieces, like this knit sweater, for example, or also this knit jacket. For pants, I think their baggy wool slacks are pretty dope, really amazing. And I also really like this burgundy sleeveless kind of top with these tiny little metal studs, tiny little details. And last but not least, I also really like the ring beanie or those mesh caps. The pricing, I would say, sits slightly above your average streetwear, but still pretty affordable in my opinion. Txrnto is a globally recognized brand from Seoul. It was founded in 2011 by Kim Han-kook, and I don't know if this guy also has a tire brand. The brand is featured in many different retail spaces across the world and also runs a lot of their own stores worldwide, their flagship store being of course in Seoul itself. And once again, you already guessed it, their online shop offers worldwide shipping. Gentle Monster is a luxury eyewear brand focusing on futuristic, kind of cyber-inspired, really artistic frames, featuring both glasses as well as sunglasses. I really like their star-inspired designs like the Sega 02, the Mosh 02, the Theta 01, or even the Cairo 02. You probably have seen some of those before. Specifically those designs, I think, is what kind of made Gentle Monster so globally recognized and so kind of trendy and popular. What I also really like are their more colorful designs. For example, the Bouquet 02, this one is so unique, but also the Fuse MGR1, the Third Kind Y8, or the Sasaki RC7. The names are really crazy, by the way, but I like it, I mess with it. But I of course also carry some more basic minimalistic designs, like for example the Boba 02, the La Cha 01, the Paranoid 02, or the Slick KC1. And I don't know about y'all, but Gentle Monster glasses are definitely on my wish list, and they are definitely a little expensive, but kind of comparing them to, I don't know, let's say Ray-Ban, I think the prices are definitely fair and kind of normal, like a little more premium eyewear prices. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any like services to get like your needed like optical strength, your lenses. I don't know how you say it in English, but yeah, I mean, I actually need glasses myself, so if I would get like a pair of Gentle Monsters, I would then need the lenses to be replaced by like a third party, which of course would be pretty expensive, but yeah, as I said, definitely on my wish list. Alright, so this is it for today's video. I hope, as always, I could inspire some of you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I think now you definitely know what brands and stores to check out if you're going to visit Seoul. But even if you're not, I mean, they all offer worldwide shipping. Thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way to the end. And with all of this being said, I think that's all for today. I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm out.